The story of the Mexican-American War begins with Texas. Texas was part of Mexico. However, many American settlers lived there. Mexico and the American settlers disagreed on many things. One key issue was slavery. Mexico had abolished slavery, but American settlers in Texas wanted to keep their slaves. These tensions, along with a growing desire for self-governance, led to Texas declaring independence from Mexico in 1836. After a fierce struggle, Texas became its own republic. The United States was hesitant to immediately annex Texas. They feared it would cause a war with Mexico. However, the idea of adding Texas to the Union was popular among many Americans. They saw it as a way to expand the country and its influence. In 1845, the U.S. finally agreed to annex Texas. This angered Mexico, which still considered Texas to be part of its territory. The annexation of Texas was a major turning point in U.S.-Mexico relations. It set the stage for a larger conflict over the Southwest. The issue of slavery further complicated matters. The addition of Texas as a slave state threatened the balance of power between free and slave states in the U.S. The stage was set for a clash of nations. The United States in the 1840s was driven by a belief called manifest destiny. This idea claimed that America had a God-given right to expand its territory from the Atlantic to the Pacific Ocean. President James K. Polk, elected in 1844, was a firm believer in manifest destiny. He saw the annexation of Texas as just the first step in expanding American territory. Polk was not only interested in Texas, he also wanted to acquire California and New Mexico from Mexico. He believed these lands were rightfully part of the United States. In 1845, Polk sent diplomat John Slidell to Mexico City. Slidell was tasked with negotiating the purchase of these territories. He offered Mexico up to $30 million. Mexico flatly rejected Polk's offer. They had no intention of selling their land to the United States. The Mexican government saw the American push for expansion as a threat to their sovereignty. Tensions between the two countries continued to escalate. The Mexican-American War officially began in April 1846. The spark that ignited the conflict was a dispute over the border between Texas and Mexico. The U.S. claimed the Rio Grande as the border, while Mexico insisted it was the Nueces River, further north. The war was fought on multiple fronts, showcasing the military leadership of men like Zachary Taylor and Winfield Scott. In the north, General Zachary Taylor secured victories at the battles of Palo Alto and Resaca de la Palma. Taylor became a national hero. His victories helped secure control of northern Mexico. In the south, General Winfield Scott led a successful campaign to capture Mexico City. His amphibious landing at Veracruz and his march inland were brilliant military maneuvers. The fall of Mexico City in 1847 marked the effective end of the war. The Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo, signed in February 1848, officially ended the Mexican-American War. In the treaty, Mexico was forced to cede a vast territory to the United States. This land included present-day California, Nevada, Utah, and parts of Arizona, New Mexico, Colorado, and Wyoming. In return, the United States paid Mexico $15 million. The Mexican-American War had profound consequences for both nations. For the United States, it was a victory that fulfilled the dreams of manifest destiny. The country expanded its territory by a third. However, the war also deepened the divisions over slavery. The newly acquired territories sparked fierce debates about whether they should be open to slavery or not. For Mexico, the war was a devastating defeat. It lost over half of its territory and suffered economically and politically. The war left a lasting legacy of resentment and mistrust between the two countries.